Hi everyone, this is Emma and we're here to do our 2-month update. I really need to be better at doing these updates because they're so, they grow up so fast and a lot of things change, sometimes on a daily basis, and I really want to document as much as I can for Emma so she could look at all these videos when she's a little older, and it would just be very good record of events for her. And then, did you guys just hear that? Oh my gosh, she just pooped. Like a poop explosion. Okay, it didn't explode that much, so we'll continue. Yeah, so I tried to make this video when she turned 1 month, but there was just so much information and I didn't really get my thoughts together before we started to film. I was just like all over the place last time, so this time I'm going to separate her updates in 3 categories: eat, play, and sleep. And at the end of the video I will talk about how I've been coping with childbirth and all that. Okay, so in terms of eating, right now we are breastfeeding 99% of the time. And the reason why I say 99% is I offer her a bottle of formula after we breastfeed right before she goes to sleep. And that's so that she can go to sleep really full to help her sleep longer at night. And most of the time she doesn't really take that much formula. I would say on average maybe at most 1 ounce of formula when I offer her the bottle. Now in the past, when I first started to kind of offer her this bottle after we breastfeed, she has taken up to 3 ounces before, and now she doesn't really take that much, and that tells me that she is getting more efficient with breastfeeding and she knows how to take in as much as she can right before bedtime. And any other feeding, I don't offer her the bottle of formula. During the day we feed every 3 hours, and then at night she wakes up once in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. For the most part. I have a separate video where I talk about how we're able to get her to kind of decrease her night feedings one by one, and I'll link it below. Yes, so right now we're breastfeeding. Even though in the very beginning I had a lot of trouble breastfeeding before. It was really sore, and I really wasn't sure if I was able to do it. So in the beginning I tried a few different things. I tried to bottle feed, I tried to do a combination of breastfeeding and then bottle feeding, and I also wasn't sure if I was giving her enough breast milk by directly breastfeeding. So for a while I was pumping and then feeding her with a bottle at night just to make sure that just to know for sure how much she was getting, but that just got a little bit too hectic for me with the pumping and then the managing of the breast milk and then managing when the breast milks expire and then pumping at night. So ever since breastfeeding became easier for me, I stopped pumping altogether. Just to keep things simple, and now I'm happy to say that I really enjoy breastfeeding even though I had a really tough start. What made it tough was no one really talked about how much it would hurt even with a good latch. What I always thought was as long as you get a good latch then it should not hurt. So when the nurses told me that Emma had a really good latch, and then it still hurt, that was really confusing for me because I didn't know what was going wrong, and the nurses you know, said nothing was wrong. So I wasn't sure what to do. And then I also went to see a lactation consultant, and then she also confirmed that Emma didn't have a latch problem, but she did help me with my posture. So in the very beginning, I needed to use two hands, or one hand to hold her upper shoulder and her neck, and then the other hand supporting the boob. So I did that for a few weeks until both Emma and I learned how to breastfeed more efficiently. So now I also don't really need supporting pillows anymore. I could pretty much breastfeed anywhere as long as I'm sitting. So that's really, really good. Now the problem with that is I'm going back to work in 2 months, and Emma will be going to daycare, so I'll need to start pumping again. So that's not gonna be fun. But we'll manage that. We'll work through it, just like everything else, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's the update with feeding. Kind of related to feeding, and then now getting into the play section. She doesn't really use a pacifier anymore, even though in the beginning she was kind of addicted to her pacifier. Right now she only uses a pacifier when she's tired, and when she's kind of getting frustrated, when she has trouble falling asleep. But during the day, she doesn't really ask for the pacifier anymore, so that's really cool. Okay, so play. Since we're following the eat, play, sleep schedule, after every feeding, if she falls asleep at the boob, I will wake her up, and then we played a variety of different things. We read together. Sometimes I play music on the TV, and then we dance together, and then we sing. One little finger, one little finger, one little finger, tap, 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 tap. Point your finger down, put it on your leg, leg. Dun, 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 dun. One little finger, one little finger, one little finger, tap, tap, tap. One little finger, one little finger, two little fingers, tap, tap, tap. Point to the ceiling, point to the floor, put them on your leg, leg. She's really starting to love her play gym, which is really cute. She makes these funny noises and she giggles when she's playing in her play gym. So the play gym has surprisingly worked out really great for us. I didn't know that she was going to be so into the play gym. We actually didn't use the play gym at all in the first month. Actually, in the first 6 weeks. For some reason, I just didn't think that she would enjoy it, probably because I thought that she wouldn't be able to see the toys anyway. But ever since we introduced the play gym, she's been having a blast, so that's good. We also go to classes sometimes. I took her to a music class. I have a vlog on it, which I will link to in case you're wondering what a music class is for babies. And we also go to story time at the library, which is pretty good too. It's a combination of reading books and singing and dancing. So I think I will just take Emma to story time at the library, since it's a combination of reading and music, instead of taking her to music class. And a music class you have to pay for, and the story time at the library is free. So I'm glad that there's a story time that we can go to. Right, and What else do we do for play? Oh, we talk, you know, we chat, and that's pretty much it for playtime. Okay, now that takes us to sleep. So during the day, she is not very good at sleeping. I would say she naps at most 30 minutes every time during the day, which kind of doesn't give me enough time to really do anything without the baby almost. So that's been a little bit challenging for me because she's up pretty much all day during the day. And we have 2 cats and they're super curious about Emma. So I also can't just leave her in her bouncing seat or in her rock and play because the cats will try to, you know, jump up and try to see what Emma is doing. So I always have to keep an eye on her and the cats. The cats have this habit of sleeping in the office in the afternoon. So once they start sleeping in the office and I close the office door, that kind of gives me some peace, knowing that the cats are sleeping in a closed room and won't come mess with Emma. And after the cats go to sleep, then I could put Emma down in a chair or in a rock and play while I let's say do dishes or heat up my food or eat or anything like that. So yeah, that's sleeping during the day. At night, she is pretty good at sleeping. I have a separate video about how she's sleeping at night. So you guys could take a look at that one if you're interested. Basically, she wakes up once at night at around 3 a.m. And then she goes to bed around 7 p.m. and then wakes up at around 7 a.m., which is really, really good for a 2-month-old. And actually, she's been doing that ever since she was 5 weeks old. So we're pretty lucky in that area. Now, if only I could get her to also do a good job of napping during the day, I will be really happy. Now, updates for me. I have recovered, I would say 100% maybe, or maybe 99%. But in the very beginning, I had a really hard time postpartum-wise. I did not anticipate how much pain there was going to be postpartum because I was only focused on labor and delivery, that I didn't really read up on anything afterwards. And I just thought, oh, well, if you have a natural delivery, then you are only in the hospital for 2 nights. That means you're probably recovered by then, right? Yeah, I know, right? Well, that wasn't the case, obviously. So that was kind of a surprise. And after I got home, since my whole body was in pain, which was not something that I had mentally prepped for, I just had a really hard time, and I've definitely cried a few times in the very beginning. I would say first 2 weeks were really, really hard, both physically and mentally. That was when I started to pump too, and the reason for that was because Emma had jaundice. So instead of supplementing with formula, the lactation consultant said to supplement with more breast milk by pumping. And that was going to give my sore nipples some relief too. So I was under the impression that, oh, pumping was going to be a lot easier than breastfeeding, which is not true because pumping also hurt. And again, I did not know that pumping was going to hurt. So of course, I had a hard time with it. And then I realized both breastfeeding and then pumping, eventually your skin, I guess, get used to the pain, and then you get over it, I guess. Not sure if that's the right explanation of why it doesn't hurt anymore. But anyway, so pumping doesn't really hurt anymore, and breastfeeding doesn't hurt anymore. So I guess your body just has a way to recover and then get used to things. But, yes, I know, right? Yeah. Okay, so first 2 weeks was super hard, and then gradually things became easier. And my mom was here to help us in the first 6 weeks, so that was super helpful. I ordered food delivery service, and my mom was able to help with housework, help with Emma, so I was able to rest in the first 6 weeks. And she also helped me, you know, prep the foods. Even with food delivery service, you still have to prep the food, right? Like heat it up and clean up and all that. And then after my mom left, things obviously became a lot busier, but I'm happy to say that I'm now getting the hang of things. Together, Emma and I have been just doing pretty good as a dynamic duo. And now I would say my mood is mostly pretty happy, and I'm really enjoying being home with Emma and being Emma's mom, which is pretty surprising considering how tough it was for me in the beginning. And I remember telling John that I was just miserable, and I cried many times in the first month or so. But now I'm happy, so that's good. So my maternity leave will end in 2 months when Emma is 4 months old. So I've been busy trying to finalize our childcare plans. Most likely we'll be doing a nanny share with a coworker and a friend. So that'll be good. Yes, baby? Yeah, you wanna say something? Yeah? In the meantime, before we actually finalize everything, I am visiting some daycare just to get an idea of what's out there in case the nanny share doesn't work out. Yeah, and I would say picking a childcare place is a little bit stressful, not knowing where exactly to send Emma, and of course I'm getting anxiety just thinking about leaving her with someone else. And at 4 months old, she's still so young. But I have to go back to work, so it'll be good for her to learn some social skills and to build up immunity. So that's a better way of looking at it. And other than that, yes, one very important update is that in one of my pregnancy videos, I talked about having bumps around my jawline. But I've been having pimples here along my jawline. You can kind of see it here. I also have some bumps, which you can't really see here. Well, now the bumps are surfacing, and I am getting a lot of breakouts here in this area. Like really big and deep and red pimples that hurt, you know, and I don't know if they'll ever go away. It's been weeks and they continue to be really big and red, so I don't know what's going on. And at first it was just one bump, and now it's like 6 bumps. So I don't know. I hope they go away soon. So I don't have to spend too much time trying to conceal and cover them up in the morning. And I guess I should show you guys my bump. Yeah. Okay. Wonder if you can see. So I still have this this line here down my belly, and the skin is pretty soft. Definitely a lot softer than before, and I could fit into most of my jeans from before, but of course they're a lot tighter. For example, this one is like really tight, but at least I could fit into them. I wasn't able to before, so that's good. I'm not really doing any exercise other than holding Emma and then bouncing her and then doing squats with her. So I don't anticipate that I will be losing all my baby weight anytime soon. So yeah, that's it. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I will try a lot harder to do more of these updates on time next time. Okay, bye. Bye. I must say bye.